The Unfolding Tapestry, 10 Stoic Keys to Understanding the Human Heart. Every day, we navigate a world brimming with faces, a vibrant mosaic of humanity, each individual a universe unto themselves, carrying stories that could fill libraries, emotions that paint the spectrum of existence, and dreams that reach for the stars. We brush shoulders in crowded streets, share spaces in bustling offices, and connect through the digital ether, yet how often do we truly see each other? How often do we pierce the surface, venturing beyond fleeting impressions to grasp the profound depths of the human spirit that resides within each person we encounter? What if I told you that beneath the kaleidoscope of personalities, beyond the masks we sometimes wear, there exists a timeless wisdom, a set of fundamental truths about human nature that can unlock the doors to deeper understanding, richer connections, and a more compassionate world? Today, we embark on a journey of discovery, a profound exploration into the very heart of what it means to be human. We will delve into 10 essential truths, illuminated by the enduring light of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that, far from being outdated, offers a powerful lens through which to navigate the complexities of modern life and the intricate dance of human interaction. These are not merely abstract concepts, they are keys that can unlock your empathy, sharpen your judgment, fortify your resilience, and ultimately, transform the way you perceive and engage with the world and its people. Prepare to have your perspective shifted, your understanding deepened, and your heart opened as we unravel these 10 Stoic truths, not as weaknesses, but as the very sinews of human strength and the foundation for profound connection. Are you ready to embark on this transformative exploration? Then let us begin and together illuminate the path to understanding. 1. Forged in the crucible of experience. Each soul you meet is a living narrative, a book etched with the indelible ink of experience. Every joy, every sorrow, every challenge overcome, and every scar borne, these are the chapters that mold and define us. It's a breathtaking realization, isn't it? To consider that every fleeting interaction, every seemingly insignificant moment, contributes to the intricate tapestry of who we become. Stoicism, in its profound wisdom, reminds us that it is not the experiences themselves that dictate our essence, but rather our response to them. Life, in the Stoic view, is a forge, and we are the metal being shaped and tempered by the fires of adversity and the cooling waters of contentment. Each hammer blow, each period of intense heat, and each moment of respite works to refine our character, making us stronger, more resilient, and ultimately, more human. Consider the individual who carries an air of quiet strength, a certain gravity in their gaze. Perhaps they have weathered storms you cannot even imagine. Their caution might not be distrust, but the hard-won wisdom of navigating treacherous waters. Their resilience might not be innate, but forged in the fires of trials that would have broken lesser spirits. Conversely, the boundless optimism of another might stem from a life bathed in sunlight, sheltered from the harshest winds. Neither perspective is inherently superior. They are simply reflections of different journeys, different chapters in the unfolding saga of life. Understanding this transformative power of experience is pivotal in how we engage with others. When someone's reaction confounds you, perhaps an unexpected outburst of anger, or a seemingly unwarranted retreat into silence, pause. Invoke the Stoic spirit of inquiry. Consider the unseen forces that have shaped this behavior, the untold stories that lie beneath the surface. By focusing on the present moment and consciously choosing our response rather than reacting blindly, we cultivate interactions that are not only more meaningful but also infused with empathy and grace. We begin to respond not just to the surface ripples of emotion, but to the deep, powerful currents that drive them. This is the essence of emotional intelligence, a skill deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy and echoed in modern psychology, a harmonious blend of ancient wisdom and contemporary insight, empowering us to navigate the complexities of human relationships and lead lives of greater understanding and compassion. 2. a symphony of communication styles. Communication, the very lifeblood of human connection, flows through us in myriad forms, as diverse and varied as the landscapes of our planet. Some communicate like a rushing waterfall, direct, forceful, and unafraid of impact. Others resemble a gentle stream, meandering, nuanced, and subtle in their approach. This rich tapestry of communication styles, while potentially enriching, can also become a source of misunderstanding, a labyrinth of misinterpretations if we lack the wisdom to navigate it effectively. Stoicism offers a guiding principle. Understanding and adapting to these diverse styles is paramount. The Stoics believed that true communication transcends mere words. It resides in our ability to listen deeply, to discern the unspoken, and to respond with wisdom and empathy, tailoring our approach to the unique individual before us. Imagine interacting with someone who values directness above all else. They prize transparency and clarity and might perceive indirectness as evasiveness, even insincerity. Conversely, another individual, nurtured in a culture of subtlety, might find direct communication jarring, even aggressive. Recognizing these fundamental differences is not merely about etiquette, it's about building bridges of understanding. It's about consciously choosing to speak in a language the other person can truly hear, not just with their ears, but with their heart and mind. This doesn't require abandoning your own authentic voice, but rather expanding your communicative repertoire, becoming fluent in the diverse dialects of human expression. Embracing this Stoic perspective means approaching each interaction with mindfulness and intention. It means shifting the focus from winning an argument or impressing an audience to the deeper, more meaningful goal of connecting and understanding. By fostering this deeper comprehension, we not only prevent misunderstandings that can erode relationships, but also enrich those relationships, transforming potentially fraught interactions into opportunities for genuine connection and growth. The next time you find yourself perplexed by someone's indirect hints or taken aback by their blunt honesty, remember the enduring wisdom of Stoicism. Look beyond the surface level of words. Consider how and why this person is communicating in this particular style. This deeper insight, this Stoic lens, can transform simple conversations into profound moments of connection, revealing the true art of communication as a bridge between souls. 3. The spectrum of stress responses. Stress, that ubiquitous companion of modern life, touches us all, but its impact is far from uniform. Some of us react to stress like a volcano erupting, with outward intensity and visible turmoil. Others respond more like a slow, silent earthquake, withdrawing inwards, becoming quiet and introspective. These varied responses are not arbitrary quirks of personality. They are deeply rooted in our individual histories, our inherent temperaments, and even our biological makeup. Stoicism provides invaluable guidance in navigating this complex landscape of stress responses, both in ourselves and in others. The core Stoic tenet reminds us that while external events may be beyond our control, our response to those events lies firmly within our domain. This principle becomes particularly potent when we consider the vast spectrum of human reactions to pressure. For the individual who becomes confrontational under stress, the Stoic disciplines of self-reflection and restraint offer a pathway to temper their immediate reactions. They are invited to pause, to breathe, to observe their anger rising, and to consciously choose a more measured response. For those who tend to withdraw, Stoicism encourages a mindful assessment of their internal state, prompting them to proactively address their concerns rather than retreating into passive avoidance. By recognizing these patterns, both in ourselves and those around us, we can cultivate more supportive and understanding environments, particularly during times of heightened pressure. This understanding translates into practical action. If you know a colleague tends to become defensive when deadlines loom, you can consciously choose a more empathetic and collaborative approach when discussing a high-stakes project. Instead of criticism, offer support. Instead of demanding, inquire. Conversely, if another colleague retreats into silence under pressure, respecting their need for space initially, while also gently offering a listening ear when they are ready, can be far more effective than forcing immediate engagement. Understanding these varied responses deepens our emotional intelligence, equipping us with the nuanced tools to navigate complex interpersonal dynamics with grace and wisdom. It's not about changing who people are, but about understanding them deeply enough to respond in ways that foster harmony and collaboration. Stoicism teaches us that true resilience is not about suppressing our reactions to stress, but about understanding them, adapting to them, and learning from them. By embracing these Stoic lessons, we not only improve our individual well-being, but also cultivate a sense of calm and stability within our relationships, our workplaces, and our communities. We transform the challenge of stress into an opportunity for growth, for deeper connection, and for living out the Stoic ideals of wisdom and virtue in every facet of our lives. 4. The inherent judge within. We are, by our very nature, judging creatures. This isn't inherently negative. It's a deeply ingrained survival mechanism, a legacy from our ancient ancestors who needed to rapidly assess situations, to discern friend from foe, safety from danger. In the split-second calculations of survival, snap judgments were often life-saving. However, in today's intricate social world, this primal instinct can become a source of misunderstanding, conflict, and prejudice. These rapid judgments, often based on incomplete information, fleeting impressions, or ingrained biases, can cloud our perception and distort our understanding of others. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote, the conscious suspension of immediate judgment. The Stoics believed that true wisdom lies in striving to see things as they truly are, stripping away the layers of assumptions, biases, and knee-jerk reactions that obscure our vision. They encourage us to question our initial impulses, to examine the foundations of our judgments, and to discern whether they are rooted in fact or merely in prejudice. This practice of mindful reflection, of pausing before we pronounce judgment, aligns perfectly with the Stoic ideal of cultivating virtue through self-control and reasoned understanding. By taking that crucial step back, by creating space between stimulus and response, we grant ourselves the opportunity to gather more information, to consider alternative perspectives, and to gain a more nuanced, comprehensive understanding of the situation and the individuals involved. This deliberate pause is the antidote to snap judgments, the shield against stereotypes, and the foundation for fairer, more compassionate assessments of others' actions and character. For example, if a colleague misses a deadline, our initial reaction might be to label them as lazy or irresponsible. But if we pause, if we invoke the Stoic spirit of inquiry, we might consider other possibilities. Perhaps they are grappling with a personal crisis, perhaps unforeseen circumstances arose, perhaps there's a deeper story we are yet to uncover. This shift in perspective opens the door to empathy, allowing us to respond with understanding and support rather than knee-jerk criticism. Practicing this Stoic approach to judgment not only prevents misunderstandings that can damage relationships, but also fosters deeper, more authentic connections built on trust and mutual respect. It encourages us to interact with others based on a more complete, more nuanced picture of their circumstances and their character, moving beyond superficial impressions to the deeper currents of human experience. Embracing this mindful approach can transform our interactions, creating ripples of understanding and tolerance that extend outwards, contributing to a more compassionate and just society. It is the embodiment of the Stoic commitment to live according to reason and virtue, improving not only our own lives, but also positively influencing the lives of those around us. 5. The universal tapestry of insecurities. Beneath the carefully constructed facades of confidence, the polished exteriors of self-assurance, lies a profound and unifying truth. Insecurity is a universal thread woven into the tapestry of human experience. No matter the outward displays of strength, no matter the accolades or achievements, doubts and vulnerabilities simmer beneath the surface for us all. This shared vulnerability is not a flaw to be ashamed of, but rather a fundamental aspect of the human condition, a poignant reminder of our shared fragility and our interconnectedness. Stoicism, with its profound understanding of human nature, offers invaluable insights into how we can navigate these often unspoken insecurities, both in ourselves and in others. Stoicism teaches us that our response to our insecurities is the crucial factor. We cannot eliminate insecurity entirely, but we can transform its power over us. By acknowledging our vulnerabilities, by examining them with objectivity and self-compassion, we can learn to manage them effectively, preventing them from dictating our actions or poisoning our relationships. This introspective practice not only fosters self-understanding, but also cultivates a deeper empathy for others, recognizing that every individual, regardless of their outward appearance of strength or success, is grappling with their own inner landscape of doubts and fears. Understanding the universality of insecurity has the power to fundamentally transform our interactions with others. Instead of engaging in judgment, comparison, or competition, we can approach our relationships with kindness, compassion, and a spirit of mutual support. We can choose to lift each other up, rather than capitalizing on perceived weaknesses. For instance, when a colleague hesitates to voice their ideas in a meeting, recognizing the potential insecurity behind their reticence empowers us to create a safe space, to actively invite their input, and to affirm the value of their contributions, thereby strengthening the collaborative spirit of the group. Furthermore, this Stoic approach to dealing with insecurities, both our own and those of others, can pave the way for more authentic, more genuine relationships. By being open about our vulnerabilities, by acknowledging our own insecurities, we create space for others to do the same. This mutual vulnerability fosters a deeper level of connection, encouraging a genuine exchange of trust, respect, and empathy. This doesn't mean insecurities magically vanish, but rather that they lose their power to become barriers, transforming instead into bridges that connect us on a more profound human level. In embracing this Stoic perspective, we align ourselves with the ideals of virtue and wisdom, promoting not only personal growth, but also contributing to a more empathetic, understanding, and ultimately, more compassionate society. Each interaction, then, becomes an opportunity to practice these principles, enriching our lives and the lives of those around us with every thoughtful, compassionate engagement. 6. The shadow of self-interest in relationships. Navigating the intricate terrain of human relationships often feels like a complex dance, a constant negotiation of needs, desires, and expectations. A fundamental truth, sometimes challenging to accept, is that not everyone will consistently act with your best interests at heart. This isn't necessarily malicious, it's simply human nature. Stoicism, with its pragmatic understanding of the human condition, acknowledges this inherent self-interest, but offers a powerful framework for navigating it with wisdom and resilience. Stoics teach that while we cannot control the actions or motivations of others, we can control our own reactions to them. By recognizing that individuals often operate from a place of self-interest, we can prepare ourselves to respond to situations with reason, clarity, and equanimity, rather than succumbing to disappointment, resentment, or bitterness. This understanding allows us to approach relationships with a more clear-eyed perspective, anticipating that others, at times, will prioritize their own needs and desires. Accepting this aspect of human nature is not about becoming cynical or distrustful of everyone. It's about cultivating a realistic appreciation for the complexities of human motivation. It encourages us to foster relationships based on mutual respect, clear communication, and healthy boundaries, where expectations are openly discussed and respected. This foundation of realistic understanding allows for stronger, more resilient relationships, built not on naive idealism, but on a grounded appreciation of human nature. For example, in a professional setting where team members hold differing priorities, one valuing rapid innovation, another emphasizing meticulous process, Stoicism encourages us to see these differences not as obstacles, but as potential strengths. By approaching such situations with the understanding that each individual brings a unique perspective, driven by their own values and motivations, we can pave the way for more robust solutions, more creative collaborations, and a richer overall outcome. Furthermore, respecting differing values and motivations isn't merely about avoiding conflict. It's about enriching our own lives and expanding our own horizons. When we genuinely engage with individuals who hold perspectives different from our own, we expose ourselves to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new approaches to problem solving. This exposure can lead to significant personal growth, expanding our understanding of the world and our place within it. Navigating these differences requires open communication, active listening, and a willingness to negotiate fairly, skills that are all deeply enhanced by the Stoic virtues of wisdom and justice. In embracing these practices, we not only create space for more peaceful and productive interactions, but also contribute to a more empathetic and understanding society, one where diverse perspectives are valued and differences are negotiated with respect and fairness, embodying the Stoic ideal of living harmoniously within the community, recognizing that the common good is enhanced by the inclusion and consideration of all its members. 7. The mirror of projection. Projection, a fascinating and often unconscious mechanism of the human psyche, is the act of attributing one's own thoughts, feelings, or impulses to another person. It's like looking into a mirror and seeing your own reflection, but believing it to be someone else. This psychological phenomenon, while often operating beneath the surface of conscious awareness, can be a significant source of misunderstandings, conflicts, and distorted perceptions in our relationships. When we project our own inner world onto others, we risk misinterpreting their actions, misjudging their intentions, and ultimately, creating unnecessary friction and distance. Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-awareness and introspection, provides a powerful tool for recognizing and mitigating the effects of projection. Stoics advocate for deep self-reflection, encouraging us to rigorously examine our own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, particularly when we find ourselves judging or criticizing others. We are invited to question the origins of our accusations, to explore whether our judgments are truly about the other person, or perhaps a reflection of something within ourselves. For example, if you find yourself repeatedly accusing a colleague of being selfish, take a moment to turn the gaze inwards. Could it be that your own fear of selfishness, or perhaps past experiences with selfish individuals, are coloring your perception? This act of self-examination requires honesty and courage, but it is crucial for personal growth and for building healthier, more authentic relationships. Understanding the mechanism of projection can be transformative in our communication. When we recognize that our criticisms or negative perceptions might be projections of our own inner conflicts, we can choose to address those inner issues directly, rather than displacing them onto others. This shift in focus not only clarifies our interactions, but also fosters a more supportive and empathetic environment. Instead of engaging in blame and accusation, we can engage in dialogue, seeking to understand not just the other person's actions, but also the deeper roots of our own reactions. By becoming more aware of our own tendencies towards projection, we cultivate greater self-awareness, emotional maturity, and ultimately, more compassionate and understanding relationships. We learn to see others more clearly, freed from the distorting lens of our own unconscious biases and unresolved inner conflicts. This Stoic practice of introspection and self-examination is not always easy, but it is a powerful path towards personal growth, stronger relationships, and a more authentic, virtuous life. 8. The kaleidoscope of values. Humanity is a vibrant kaleidoscope of values, beliefs, and priorities. Each individual, shaped by their unique experiences, cultural background, and personal journey, holds a distinct set of values that guide their decisions, shape their actions, and define what they deem important in life. Some prioritize career success above all else, finding fulfillment in achievement and recognition. Others place family at the heart of their lives, valuing connection, belonging, and the nurturing of loved ones. Still others champion personal freedom, seeking autonomy, independence, and the liberty to chart their own course. And many are driven by a deep sense of social responsibility, dedicated to making a positive impact on the world, advocating for justice, and contributing to the greater good. This diversity of values, while enriching and beautiful, can also be a source of friction and conflict, particularly in situations where decisions impact multiple individuals with differing priorities. Understanding and respecting these diverse value systems is not merely polite, it is essential for navigating our social world effectively and harmoniously. Stoicism provides a practical and insightful framework for dealing with this inherent diversity of values. The philosophy encourages us to recognize a fundamental truth. While we have control over our own actions, judgments, and responses, we cannot and should not attempt to control or dictate the values of others. This acknowledgement is the cornerstone of tolerance, patience, and genuine respect for individual autonomy. Stoics advocate for focusing on cultivating our own virtues, living according to our own ethical principles, and leading by example, rather than attempting to impose our values on those around us. For instance, in a workplace scenario where team members hold contrasting values, one prioritizing innovation and risk-taking, while another champions tradition and stability, Stoicism guides us to appreciate these differences as potential strengths, rather than viewing them as obstacles to be overcome. By approaching such situations with the understanding that each perspective brings unique value, that each approach offers a different lens through which to view the challenges at hand, we can pave the way for more creative problem-solving, more balanced decision-making, and a richer overall outcome. Moreover, respecting differing values is not simply about mitigating conflict, it's about actively enriching our own lives and expanding our own perspectives. When we genuinely engage with individuals who hold values different from our own, when we truly listen to understand their perspectives, we open ourselves to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new possibilities we might never have considered on our own. This engagement requires open communication, active listening, and a willingness to negotiate respectfully, skills that are all deeply cultivated by the Stoic virtues of wisdom and justice. In embracing these practices, we not only create space for more peaceful and productive interactions, but also contribute to a more vibrant, inclusive, and understanding society, one where diverse perspectives are valued, and differences are celebrated as a source of strength, embodying the Stoic ideal of living harmoniously within a diverse community. Recognizing that the collective good is profoundly enhanced by the inclusion and consideration of all its members and their unique value systems. 9. The spectrum of motivation. Just as individuals hold diverse values, what truly motivates us, what ignites our passions, and what drives our actions also varies widely across the human spectrum. Some are primarily motivated by a deep need for security, finding comfort and drive in stability, predictability, and a sense of safety. For them, motivation stems from the desire to protect what they have, to build a secure foundation, and to minimize uncertainty. Others are fueled by a yearning for recognition, thriving on acknowledgement, appreciation, and the esteem of their peers. For these individuals, motivation is intrinsically linked to their social standing, their achievements being seen and valued by others. And yet another significant group is driven by an insatiable curiosity, a constant thirst for knowledge, new experiences, and exploration. For them, motivation is fueled by the desire to learn, to grow, to expand their horizons, and to constantly discover something new. Understanding these diverse motivational drivers is absolutely crucial for navigating our interactions effectively, both in our personal relationships and in our professional endeavors. Stoicism, with its emphasis on empathy and understanding, teaches us to approach each interaction with mindfulness and respect for the underlying motivational forces that drive the other person. By taking the time to discern what truly motivates an individual, we can better tailor our communication, align our actions, and foster more harmonious and productive relationships. When we understand someone's core motivations, we can speak to their needs, resonate with their desires, and create connections that are far more meaningful and impactful. For instance, if you recognize that a team member is primarily motivated by recognition, you can consciously make an effort to acknowledge their contributions publicly, to celebrate their achievements, and to ensure their efforts are seen and appreciated by the wider team. Conversely, if another team member is driven by security, you might focus on providing them with clear frameworks, predictable expectations, and a sense of stability in their role, creating an environment where they feel safe and supported to perform at their best. And for those who are motivated by curiosity, offering opportunities for learning, exploration, and intellectual stimulation will keep them engaged, energized, and contribute to a more innovative and dynamic environment. Stoicism doesn't merely suggest that we accommodate the motivations of others, it also encourages profound self-reflection regarding our own motivational drivers. By understanding what truly motivates our own actions, what fuels our own passions, and what drives our own choices, we can strive to ensure that our motivations align with our core values and virtues, which Stoics regard as the ultimate path to true fulfillment and a meaningful life. This alignment between motivation and virtue allows us to interact with the world more authentically, more purposefully, and more effectively, ensuring that our actions not only serve our own needs, but also contribute positively to our environment, to our relationships, and to the greater good. In practicing Stoicism, we learn to foster communities where diverse motivations are not just recognized but actively supported, where individual drives are understood and channeled in ways that benefit both the individual and the collective. This approach not only enhances individual well-being, but also strengthens the collective fabric, making our social and professional groups more cohesive, resilient, and ultimately more human. By embracing motivational differences and responding to them thoughtfully, we actively live out the Stoic ideals of wisdom and justice, enriching our relationships, strengthening our communities, and contributing to a world where understanding and empathy are the guiding principles of human interaction. 10. The art of post-decision rationalization and the power of empathy. In our ongoing exploration of the intricate tapestry of human interaction, we encounter a subtle yet profoundly influential aspect of human psychology, the phenomenon of post-decision rationalization. This occurs when individuals, often unconsciously, retroactively justify their decisions, actions, or choices, crafting narratives that align with their self-image, their desired public persona, or the prevailing societal expectations. It's the human mind's ingenious way of reducing cognitive dissonance, that uncomfortable mental friction that arises when our actions clash with our beliefs or values. In essence, we often revise the reasons for our decisions after the fact, constructing justifications that feel more comfortable, more palatable, or more socially acceptable. Stoicism, with its unwavering commitment to truth, authenticity, and self-awareness, emphasizes the paramount importance of aligning our decisions, our actions, and our justifications with genuine integrity, guided by reason and virtue, rather than by ego, external validation, or the need to maintain a flawless self-image. Understanding that post-decision rationalization is a common human tendency, a psychological mechanism we all employ to varying degrees, allows us to approach our interactions with greater compassion, understanding, and a more discerning eye. Recognizing this phenomenon in others allows us to see beyond the surface level of their justifications, to look past the carefully constructed narratives, and to glimpse the deeper motivations, insecurities, or pressures that may be driving their behavior. It prompts us to ask not just what someone is saying to justify their actions, but why they might feel the need to justify them in this particular way. What might this tell us about their underlying values, their hidden insecurities, or the societal pressures they are navigating? For instance, if a colleague vehemently defends a risky business decision with unwavering confidence after the fact, particularly if the initial decision was met with some internal debate or hesitation. Understanding post-decision rationalization allows us to approach the conversation with greater empathy and constructive dialogue. Perhaps their forceful justification reveals a deep-seated need for acceptance, a fear of appearing indecisive, or a vulnerability to the pressure of external expectations, emotions that are universally human. Emotions we all grapple with in different ways and at different times. Moreover, cultivating awareness of our own tendency towards post-decision rationalization is a powerful catalyst for personal growth and ethical development. Stoicism encourages us to engage in critical self-reflection, to rigorously examine our own reasons for making decisions, to question our own justifications, and to constantly strive for greater alignment between our actions, our intentions, and our deeply held ethical values. This introspective practice ensures that our actions are not merely reflexive, driven by habit or ego, but rather reflective, deliberate, and consciously aligned with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. In embracing these Stoic principles, we not only foster greater understanding and patience in our dealings with others, recognizing their inherent human fallibility, but also cultivate a more authentic, self-aware, and ethically grounded existence for ourselves. This commitment to truth and self-awareness not only enriches our personal lives, but also profoundly enhances our relationships, allowing us to interact with others in a way that is both understanding and grounded in genuine insight, fostering connections built on authenticity, empathy, and a shared recognition of the beautiful, complex, and sometimes contradictory nature of the human heart. As we conclude this journey through the 10 Stoic keys to understanding the human heart, remember that embracing the wisdom of Stoicism is not about detachment or indifference, but about cultivating a deeper, more compassionate engagement with the world and its people. It is about seeing beyond the surface, recognizing the shared humanity that binds us together, and responding to each interaction with wisdom, empathy, and virtue. If this exploration has sparked your curiosity, ignited your empathy, or offered you a fresh perspective on human nature, consider delving deeper into the rich wellspring of Stoic philosophy. Explore the writings of Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, timeless voices that continue to resonate with profound relevance in our modern world. Remember, every interaction, every challenge, every moment is an opportunity to grow wiser, more compassionate, and more deeply connected with those around us. Embrace the teachings of Stoicism, integrate these principles into your daily life, and may each day bring you closer to understanding, fulfillment, and a more meaningful connection with the vast and beautiful tapestry of humanity.